on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Off the Bench Podcast.
That's alive. That's all alive. I'm keeping that too. All right. You want to do Super Bowl first, or you want to do All-Star Weekend first?
Up to you. You should put it. Maybe we should do this so you're not looking gay.
That's definitely getting cut. All right. So, all right. Let's start with All-Star Weekend. This is Team
See
Shaq.
what the odds are.
This is Team Shaq. LeBron, AD, KD, Harden, Steph, Tatum, Dame, and Jaylen Brown.
Great lineup.
You think first, second, or third?
Definitely first or second. Leaning towards first because they're well-rounded.
Team Kenny. Ant, Jaren Jackson Jr., great defensive player, by the way. Darius Garland, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Brunson, Jalen Williams, Evan Mobley, and Tyler Hero. First, second, or third?
I don't know. I think the Rising Stars team will definitely give them a run for their money. So third or fourth.
Okay. Team Chuck. Jokic, Shea, Siakam, Kat, Giannis, Vic, Sengun, and Don.
First or second, for sure. They're very...
Rank them now.
They have the best talent, but there's a lot of big men there. I mean, besides Mitchell and SGA, it's really mostly forwards and centers.
Yeah.
Which will be interesting to watch, especially... I really hope... I don't know who's playing who yet. I really hope they play Team Kenny. It'd be interesting to see a team of mostly guards go up against a team mostly forwards. But that'd be a matchup nightmare for Team Kenny, I think. I'm not positive, though. Because, I mean, SGA...
I think Team Kenny's underrated.
Huh?
I think Team Kenny's underrated.
I think...
He built a team that is built to play good defense and win games, I think. Jaren Jackson Jr. and Evan Mobley might be the best defenders in the entire All-Star
But they're going to have to play the whole game if they're playing Team Chuck.
One or the other can play. Together they can play the whole game. There's nothing wrong with that.
But if you have Giannis, Jokic, and Wemby on the floor at the same time, they cannot guard them.
I don't know if
I really hope they play.
If they're all on the floor at the same time, I don't think you have to guard them. I think you just have to keep them off the floor.
Garland and Brunson are both defensive liabilities, if we're being honest.
I don't think Brunson is a defensive liability.
You don't think you're being biased?
I don't think Brunson is a defensive liability. I think his job and his team is not to guard players. You know?
Yeah, but he's going to have to. Well,
that's his job.
What's it? He might have to guard SGA if he plays Team Chuck. He can't guard SGA.
SGA got to guard him too.
His whole life's consistent.
SGA's got to guard him too.
SGA is a much better defender than Brunson. Significantly better. It's not even close.
Well, be that as it may. That's what, a week from now?
A week or two, I'm not sure.
It's going to be a fun watch.
Oh, shit, this should be on mute.
True. It's going to be a fun watch, I think.
Yeah, Ramblers making a comeback.
We got Loyola versus Duquesne on the
big screen.
On the big screen over here. As you can see, we're both wearing jerseys. This is for Brunson. That's for Jaylen Brown. Knicks Celtics is on when we're recording this.
It's not on yet, but it'll be on in 40 minutes or so.
Yeah. We're going to try to get this out by tomorrow morning. Probably will.
What are your thoughts on the new All-Star Game format, this bracketology kind of thing?
I like it. I think it's innovative at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there's some sort of financial incentive for coming in first as well.
That's good.
I think it's like $500K or maybe even $1 million if you come in first. I could be wrong. You might have to double check that.
Mm-hmm.
But excuse me. I think there is some sort of financial incentive to get the players to play.
Yeah. That's always good.
Yeah, it'll be interesting too because that'll give us 3 All-Star games.
Yeah, essentially.
Because the winner of the Stars plays one of the 3 teams. Is the bracket set up yet? Do you know?
I'm not sure. Let's check. Keep talking.
But, yeah, I like Chuck. I like Shaq. Chuck has the better players. Shaq is the most well-rounded team. They got some chemistry on Shaq too with AD, Braun, and Tatum and Brown.
Your bracket hasn't been finalized, but teams. Yeah, it's just teams.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who gets the Rising Stars. I I really hope they put Chuck and Shaq on the opposite sides of the bracket. I assume they will because
The
they seem.
seating is odd. 'Cause I don't know how you.
I don't know how you seed it, but
Yeah.
I think I mean there some sort of draft.
Yes. Yeah, I watched the draft on TNT. Not on TNT, but I watched a replay of it
So did
from the
the team
TNT
that
guys.
picked last get to play the Rising Stars?
Maybe that's it. That would make sense.
But I wouldn't. I really hope Chuck and Shaq aren't playing each other in the first round because take your New York Knicks hat off for a second. Those are the two best teams. You want to see them in the finals.
I'd like to see Team Kenny in the finals. I'm a Karl-Anthony Towns fan too. You know what I mean? Like I like the Knicks, but I'm a Karl-Anthony Towns fan too.
You really think Team Kenny's a top two team?
I like to see them in the finals. I mean, you got
Do you think they're a top two team?
Yes,
Who are they better than, Chuck or Shaq?
Chuck, Shaq,
Both?
Shaq. No, just Shaq. Shaq.
Shaq's the
One team
Braun,
is
AD, Tatum, Brown team.
Yeah,
Who else they have?
they have Braun, AD, Jayson Tatum, Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Dame Lillard, James Harden. Yeah, they're better.
So it's like Team USA plus some.
Yeah, they're better. I'll argue that too. They're better. They are. I mean, like, look. Let's look at position by position. AD, is Jaren Jackson better right now?
No.
No, he's not. But is he a better defender? He's just as good.
Who's going to be playing the four for you guys?
So you're talking about
Mobley?
starting lineups. This is an 8-man team. You got to remember that.
Oh, but they have. How do the starters work now? Because they did 5 starters in the East, 5 starters in the West.
Yeah.
Is this in addition to what East versus West game?
No. This is
So,
in substitution of the East versus West game, I think. I'm pretty sure of that.
but there's 10. So there's 10 starters, but
Yeah, we voted for starters.
that'll be interesting.
I think we
You got
voted for
Tyler
starters.
Hero on your team and Cade Cunningham.
What's wrong with Tyler
And-
Hero or Cade Cunningham?
Cade Cunningham, Tyler Hero, and Darius Garland and Evan Mobley are arguably some of the weakest All Stars.
You know,
I'd argue that you have 6 to 10 of the weakest All Stars. And Jaren Jackson Jr., Jalen Williams, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Tyler Hero, and Cade Cunningham.
I think we're building a good team here that can.
We're?
Yeah, I think Kenny's building a good team here.
So you're definitely not biased?
I'm not biased at all. No, I like Cat's a Knicks player too. I love Cat just as much as I love Jalen Brunson. So I think that's a ridiculous claim. Yeah, Loyola's they're making a huge. They're making a push here. Super Bowl prediction. Let me hear your Super Bowl prediction.
Chiefs 27, Eagles 24.
I think I gave this to you. I don't think it got published, but I think I said like 17 or 21.
17-28 is what you said.
17-28. Yeah, I'll stand by that too.
11 points.
Yeah.
You said Eagles, right?
Yeah, Eagles. I got the Eagles. I do. I mean, at the end of the day, Black Magic is cool and all, but like,
How many times did the Chiefs let up 28 points this season?
look, I trust in Spags. I do. But if he's under pressure, he's gonna blitz, right? If Spags
Can
is really,
Jalen Hurts handle the blitz on passing plays?
we've seen him do it multiple times. They seem to have
From a
him
defense
all
as good
the time.
as
You
the
think no one's
Chiefs?
ever thought of that? What?
From a defense as good as the Chiefs?
I mean, I don't know, but like,
A corner blitz on a 3rd and 8?
he'll hit the check down. Saquon Barkley will take it for 70. You don't want to blitz Jalen Hurts. Because he'll hit the check down. Saquon will rip you up for 70. For sure. You don't want
It'll be
that.
interesting to see what they do with Saquon and who can establish the line of scrimmage between that Chiefs defensive front and the Eagles defensive front.
That'll be very interesting
But
to watch.
and something to watch is Jalen Carter and his health.
Yeah.
With the illness he's battling. I don't think there's a way the Eagles win the game if he doesn't play.
How does the game affect football? Like, where do we go from this afterwards if the Chiefs three-peat? Do you think the Chiefs go into next year as favorites?
Why wouldn't they?
Are we worried about...
Unless Travis Kelce retires, they lose Trey Smith.
Is this too much dominance for football?
In terms of viewership and stuff like that?
Because we never had a three-peat. Never happened in the history of the NFL. There's never been a team that's as good over this stretch as the Chiefs.
Is this good for the sport?
Yeah.
Are you asking?
It's good for the sport. Where do we go from here?
I think for viewership's sake and everything, the Chiefs being the Super Bowl is bad for viewership points.
Maybe.
Have we ever heard of a boycott the Super Bowl thing?
No. No, we have not. Yeah. No, we have not.
Have we heard of people? I mean, the Patriots had their thing. Damn. Had their thing with the refs. We all know.
Yeah.
But we never saw people getting point blank asked questions about the refs in Super Bowl media day.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know. Sounds like the fans don't want a Chiefs Super Bowl. The fans want Lamar or Allen there next year.
Yeah, they do. Definitely.
It'll be interesting to see if,
for lack of a better word, the black fans want Lamar, the whiter fans want Allen.
I like Allen. Yeah. No, I hear that.
But if we're generalizing here, which we are, that's the fact of the matter. Yeah, Loyola commercial.
Generally speaking, regionally, speaking otherwise, rivals otherwise, stuff like that. But, yeah, I mean, as an Allen fan, I'd rather see Lamar get one before Mahomes get one. Or get another one, I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'm
on
the less.
I'd rather see Allen win one, and
I'm on the less extreme end of the spectrum. There are those Ravens fans who were cheering for the Chiefs last week.
True.
One of them wearing white and black, officiating the game last week. Or 2 weeks ago. But you know.
And I don't mind Allen. If I didn't live with you, I'd be a much bigger Allen fan.
Yeah.
Like I like Allen. I do.
What are your thoughts on
MVP?
No. We'll get to that. But the ref, what was his name?
Oh yeah.
The ref who's
you mean the voter?
No, not Jim Miller. The ref who his Twitter got leaked. I could look at his name if you can't find it. But he's a Ravens fan with family from Kansas City. The guy who ruled Allen short.
Let me see.
What day was the game?
I don't remember.
Let me try to find it.
Yeah, I don't remember. I can't find his name, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he had pictures on his
Patrick
Twitter.
Holt.
Okay, he had pictures on his Twitter about being a fan of the Ravens, and yeah,
family from Kansas City, Ravens fan.
Not good. Yeah.
I'm not going to go as far to say he was biased and he was making calls a certain way, but if you're the NFL, Buffalo Sabres, you don't want you need to remove a guy like that from the game so the fans can't make that speculation.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's just a bad look.
It's a bad look.
It's a bad look. It's a horrible look.
No yeah. Who's the ref that who was essentially forced into retirement because he had a picture of him and his family in Tatum jerseys?
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, I forget his name.
Yeah,
but yeah, that did happen.
Yeah, it's just a bad look for the sport. The refs should be impartial. They shouldn't. I mean, it's
another reason
if you're an NFL ref, you're not doing it for the money.
No,
you're doing it for the love of the game.
You're part time.
Yeah, essentially.
You should have professional refs.
It's hard to find someone who loves football as much as an NFL referee who is impartial or unbiased.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you can find out what their favorite team is and keep them away from games that. I mean, it's hard. Almost every game impacts one team one way or another.
Yes. Every game does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Not every game. I mean, like, the NFC versus NFC and AFC versus AFC games are safer, but there's not a season full of those.
Yeah.
But
Every game decides
The
playoff.
NFL needs to get full-time officiating.
Yeah, I agree.
We can't
I
have
strongly agree.
what Gruden and Portnoy said. We can't have part-time accountants and substitute teachers reffing championship games.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and there needs to be some sort of accountability because it affects players' contracts. It affects coaches' jobs and job security.
And even more than that, it affects the way we talk about them. Like, let's take an outside look. This is entertainment. We're
Yeah,
spectators of an entertainment game, and we all care about it a lot. But it's entertainment. So at the end of the day, if what entertainment is designed to do is it's designed to elicit feelings in you that make you feel a certain way about the entertainment, so you can further propagate it. We can't do that properly if we feel like it's being rigged or fixed or
yeah,
whatever.
and it doesn't help that the NFL reclassified themselves as an entertainment business or something like that, where they legally and technically can rig games. I'm not suggesting they are,
Mm-hmm.
but the fact that they theoretically could isn't a good look.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if there's some sort of financial. There must have been some sort of financial advantage to reclassify the business.
Probably.
But if you're doing that, you need to get full time and unbiased officials. And from their perspective, or their argument that we don't have the money to pay full time officials, like nobody really believes that.
Nobody can. They're
You're,
making
you
money
are one of
hand
the
over
biggest
fist.
businesses in all of America.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That is.
You're
ridiculous.
the biggest of the big four sports leagues, and I don't know specifically, but does the NBA have full time refs?
Yes.
I think the NHL does
Yes,
too.
they
It's
do.
a little different because they're longer seasons.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the MLB might as well.
NBA is from October to if
June.
talking about the finals, yeah, June, July.
NHL is the
sometimes.
same season.
July. That's a fully working.
The NBA and NHL have the same schedule.
Yeah, they do.
MLB is even longer.
Yeah, MLB's 9 months.
Yeah, but
we're not But the NFL is only from.
I think even the NCAA has
The NFL's from August to what? January, February. August, September, October, November, December, January, February. That's 7 months. It's not really enough.
Double check this real quick. But does the NCAA basketball, do they have full time officials? Because their season's October to March. That's the same as that's even shorter than the NFL season. Same as the NFL season. More games, but still.
No, they're not permanent staff. They're self-employed and work on a per game basis. So yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
No.
It'll be interesting to see if the Chiefs can be the first team since the Bills to go to 4 in a row next year. It'll be interesting to see if Travis Kelce.
I hope he retires. Not because I don't like.
It really sounds like he won't.
I hope he retires. Not because I don't like Travis Kelce, but just because
I'm tired of this era and this narrative.
I don't need him making any more Pro Bowls. I know Pro Bowls don't matter or whatever, but I don't need him making any more. And I don't really need him being a main figure in sports anymore.
It almost feels like we're at a point where he's getting special treatment. We saw the taunting call last week or 2 weeks ago.
Sure.
Him fighting teammates in training camp.
The Eagles have a chance to take the refs out of the game.
They do, but I'm not confident in Nick Sirianni, and I'm not confident in Jalen Hurts.
I don't know how Saquon Barkley is being stopped against the Chiefs. I don't know how he's being stopped.
I hear that.
I don't get it.
That's possible, but I don't think the Chiefs are a team where you can run the ball 30 times against and be fine.
I think they are. At the end of the day, running the ball is exerting your will. It's not about schemes. It's about who has better, tougher players. It's about whose O-line is going to win on the line of scrimmage in this very moment, and who's going to do whatever beyond that point. And I think the Eagles are better equipped to do that. I think man on man, guy on guy, they're a tougher team. I don't see them beating the Chiefs. I don't see the Chiefs beating the Eagles. I don't see it happening. I can't picture it.
Another question. The Ravens next year have they're in a tough situation.
What do you mean?
Justin Tucker, the allegations.
Yeah, that's
what's their tackle that's going into free agency?
Oh, Ronnie Stanley.
Ronnie Stanley, gonna require all-time amount of money.
Yeah, he's gonna make a lot of money.
Derrick Henry's on the wrong side of 30, and
More than any
he
other
takes
team
care of his body, but still,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to imagine he's gonna get better.
Yeah.
Realistically, he won't. He'll regress to some extent, whether it's minutely or majorly. It'd probably be very minute.
I think.
But
don't be surprised if he's still leading the league in rushing next year.
Yeah. And they have to compete with. I mean, the Bills have a few people they need to extend, but they have more money now that they're off the Diggs cap hit.
Okay.
The Chiefs are about to most likely lose Trey Smith on a O-line that I wouldn't say struggling, but appears to have some significant holes in them.
They have great players, but they have no depth and no holes on that O-line, and a lot of holes in that O-line.
Yeah, like losing Trey Smith will be huge.
Yeah, for sure. Two guys can't carry an O-line. Like Creed Humphrey's a great Creed Humphrey's a great center, and Joe Thuney is. I mean, he's a 4-time Super Bowl champion for a reason. Like he's a great player, but
the Ravens might need to make a move or two to get back there. As great as their team looks, I'd like them to add a piece or more before. I'd like them to add a piece before they run it back.
I hear that.
I don't know what piece that'd be necessarily because I don't think adding a Cooper Kupp, a Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, even like adding another. I don't think an elite receiver will necessarily change their offense.
Yeah.
I think adding another corner would do more. Drafting a corner specifically, I think
probably will.
I think there's a kid from Notre Dame who's supposed to be good, but
yeah, they're not gonna be picking that low. They'll be what? Top
28,
so
5 around.
Yeah, 25, probably 25.
Give or take.
Yeah.
But
depends who wins the Super Bowl. But they'll be
there's picks locked in. It doesn't matter who wins the Super Bowl. Every pick's locked in, but the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
It's the last two.
Okay. Maybe I'm wrong about this. Yeah. I thought it was based on who wins the Super Bowl, and that's how you got the
it's
one more.
Based on when you get eliminated, and then the tiebreaker goes to whoever has the worst record.
Gotcha. So, yeah, their pick is locked in then.
The top 30 picks are locked in. I'll pull up where the Ravens are.
Yeah. The thing about the Ravens is...
The Ravens are 27.
Yeah, it's not great.
They're going to need a tackle, a receiver.
Not gonna
as great as Odafe Owe looked this year, I think they could use another edge rusher.
I agree. But, I mean, they'll figure out a way.
They'll figure out a way. But
they have a good defense.
They have some holes to fill.
For sure. For sure.
The Chiefs look like they'll have the most holes between the big three in the AFC.
Probably. Given what we've seen.
But they're the Chiefs. They'll figure it out one way or another.
Yeah. So, your boy Josh Allen, he robbed Lamar of an MVP. And we got to talk about it. He did.
I don't think he robbed him.
I mean, I don't know if he robbed him, but it certainly should be on Lamar's mantle.
For
sure.
I said this since week 10 or 13 that I expected Lamar to win first team All-Pro and Allen to win MVP, if you remember.
You're probably maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I think that's the main issue that the media has is that how did he not win first team All-Pro, but he won MVP at his position. But I looked into it. The AP, whoever's in charge of the AP voting, reminded players or voters that one comeback player of the year should be decided on coming back from a significant injury and not coming back from, for lack of words, being a bum.
Yeah.
So a Sam Darnold or a Joe Flacco.
Yeah, sure.
And that also All-Pro first team should be the best statistical and best player at their position, whereas MVP should be the player that brings the most value to their team. So I understand from that perspective that Allen brings more value to his team than Lamar. Do you drastically disagree with that?
Yes.
You think Lamar brings more value to the Ravens than Allen does to the Bills?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
So you think the Ravens,
Yeah, I
say if
do.
you put a Tua Tagovailoa on both those teams, you think the Ravens would have a better record or the Bills?
The Ravens, but I don't think that's a good measure of
Who
indicating who's
the
more
the main
valuable.
thing was, I mean, I hear you on they're changing the criteria every year, and I don't like that. I want it to be stats, wins, value, whatever. It seemed like it was wins a few years ago or last year even. It seemed like a stats the year before. Now it seems like pure value. I'd like them to be consistent with it, but if you're talking sure value to their team or pure value to their team, I think it's hard to argue there's a player that was more valuable to their. I'm not saying there indefinitely isn't a better player or more valuable player to their team than Allen. I think it'd be hard to make that argument
I don't agree.
because I think part of it is because you voted All Pro first, and All Pro came out before the MVP votes were due,
Mm-hmm.
and the Lamar had more Pro Bowlers. She had more All Pro players. He had Derrick Henry. He had Zay Flowers, who would probably be the best receiver and best running back on both teams.
Probably.
And so the difference in Allen and Lamar was Allen had more wins.
Mm-hmm.
He had less turnovers,
Mm-hmm.
less negative plays,
Sure.
and a higher QBR.
Okay.
So I guess they're valuing. I wouldn't say efficiency is the right word, but lack of negative plays. Because Allen had the least amount of negative plays / turnovers of any quarterback, honestly, since 1970.
Yeah.
And if you look at the narrative coming into the season, the Bills might lose the division to the Dolphins or the Jets.
Sure.
The Ravens just got Derrick Henry and they finished 13-4 last year. They should be even better this year. And I mean, it wasn't Lamar's fault the defense took a step back from last year to this year.
No.
You don't agree with that?
No, I agree. It wasn't his fault. Yeah.
But
I don't know how it would be.
yeah, I think part of it is narrative. Part of it is a bit of voter fatigue.
I got no problem with that. Look, here's my thing.
I think robbed is an aggressive term.
I agree.
And if you're here with,
go ahead.
If you're here with Lamar cleared him in every stat possible, I hear that. But in that case, Dak Prescott should have been MVP last year.
So, I agree. Robbed is an aggressive term. That's sort of clickbaity. But here's my thing, right? Here's my thing. How did you feel about Derrick Henry going into this year?
I thought he would regress.
You thought he was washing was the term you used?
Yeah, more aggressive term for regression.
Okay. And the Ravens defense for a good deal this year, how good were they?
They weren't great, but they
were bottom 10 for a significant portion of this year.
Yeah.
10 weeks or so.
But
That's
how did they finish?
And that's cool.
They finished ahead of the Bills defense.
And that's cool, but that's because they didn't have to be on the field a whole bunch, did they?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be real about it. Okay. So their defense wasn't great for a good portion of the year. Their running back.
The thing with their defense is, I'll say, I believe they finished with the number one run defense.
Yes. The run defense was
and a bottom 5 pass defense.
The run defense was good the entire time. Their pass defense was bad for most of the year.
Yeah.
It was horrible for most of the. So let's dive into this because if we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it. So here's my thing, right? Here's my thing. People were not high on Derrick Henry going into this season. A lot of people believed he was quote unquote washed, whatever that means. I was one of those.
They believed he wasn't the guy he was.
Yes.
Nobody thought he'd be a Frank Gore on the Jets.
And here is why systems matter more than players. They lost 2 starting offensive linemen this year. Is that right or wrong?
I'm not positive, but I'll take your word for it.
We took 2 of them. They went to the Jets.
2 of them?
Yeah. 2 starting offensive linemen for the Ravens went to the Jets. That's
it looks like it was a good thing then.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe, man.
They made
whatever.
the right move.
Either way, they had one of the best offensive lines in football last year. They lost 2 of those starting offensive linemen. That's just a fact. That's what happened. Their running back, Derrick Henry, was believed by a lot of people to be over the hill. That's just true. Yes, Zay Flowers is very good at football. Last time I checked, we've never blamed an MVP for having a good receiver. It hasn't happened. Okay,
No.
so let's move on swiftly from that. Their defense.
But that's the issue, though. They change the criteria every year.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I mean, no matter how much they change the criteria, that's never been a factor for us. We've never cared if they've had a good receiver or not. Never, not once.
Not that I can think of, no.
Yeah, so that shouldn't even be a factor, even if we're changing the criteria consistently. Shouldn't. And Zay Flowers isn't even, if we're being honest, good enough for us to be like, he's the reason why Lamar won MVP.
He's closer to a Khalil Shakir than he is to Justin Jefferson.
We all agree on this.
I don't think he's miles ahead of Khalil Shakir.
And if we're being honest, Derrick Henry isn't good enough for us to be like, he's the reason Lamar won MVP. He's not. He's not. He's a running back first and foremost. Let's be honest. His impact on Lamar's stats is massive. I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But, dude, for the casual fan, for the people who aren't paying attention as much, I'm sorry. No, that isn't true.
Yeah. Well,
his impact on his play isn't greater than Devontae Adams' impact on Aaron Rodgers' play.
I think.
We don't believe that.
Yeah. But I think with Derrick Henry, I think out of any other, of any position other than maybe a great offensive lineman, Derrick Henry might be the most beneficial for a quarterback in sense of, like,
you mean besides a great receiver, too?
Maybe, yeah.
I'm sorry, bro. What? Jamar Chase doesn't. What?
But even with Saquon, you don't stack the boxes with Saquon the same way you do with Derrick Henry. He's a big man. You need to add another line of support to take him down.
I mean, fine, but like, I don't know. I don't remember us taking away MVPs because of who you had around you. And I get it; it's a close race, so we're nitpicking. That's fine. I'm not going to say Josh Allen robbed Lamar. I don't really believe that. I said it but I don't believe that. Like, I don't believe that. I like Josh Allen. I think this is more of a lifetime achievement award thing for him. Like, he deserves it, sure, because he deserves it. Joe Burrow deserves an MVP. Like, and when we give it to him, maybe there'll be arguments for other people, but he deserves it. Like, I don't hate on him getting it. This year, though, Lamar had an all-time year. It's at the very least frustrating that he left it with nothing.
That's what I agree with you with. You remember me saying I wanted Lamar to win MVP?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
As a Bills fan, I wanted Lamar to win MVP.
Yeah.
He had arguably a top 3 quarterback season of all time. If someone said one of the best, if someone said the best quarterback season of all time,
no.
I mean, I wouldn't agree with it, but I wouldn't hesitate greatly.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's up there.
It's up there.
Like, you're not going to last at the room for
in terms of pure touchdowns, interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Really, the only thing Allen had on him was wins and lack of negative plays and turnovers.
Yeah, it's one more turnover. Take a beat. Cool. I'm stopping now.
All right, I'll refill this.
We're at what? 40, I think?